Welcome to Challenge the Road. We're in the garage at last. Everything's done now, so I can present from here. I'm really pleased to show you. I love the lights, love the floor, and obviously we've got some great cars in here. But today I want to talk about the Golf R, because I've had this for about 4 or 5 days now, and I really like this car. Now, we spoke before about sort of £30,000. Is there a car that will compete with the 90s icons, as in the Mitsubishi Evo, Subaru 22B, Escort Cosworth, these type of cars that I've been buying? And obviously I've had to pay a premium to have them cars. So is there a car for sort of under 30,000 that gives you as much pleasure as they do? Now, we had the GR Yaris in, but it was nowhere near the Evo. Now, that's not to say that the GR Yaris I didn't like, it's just the Evo is absolutely electric all of the time, and the Yaris is just knocked off a few levels for steering feel, just because it's a more modern car. If it had come out back in the 90s, I'm sure it would be just the same as the Evo, but with all the regulations you have now, they obviously can't be quite as raw as an Evo, as a 22B. But the Golf R, let's have a little look at the history of the Golf R. Now, I think it was 2002, they launched the Mark IV Golf R. I think that was the first Golf R. I really like that car. I think that's a good investment car. I almost bought one. I remember when they were sort of £8,000 or £10,000, but now, I think they're now £25,000, £30,000. So, you know, a huge amount of money. And I can see that because I think it's a great looking car. I've never driven one. I'd like to. If you're an owner out there that's got one, I'd love to drive one. But today we have the Mark 7.5, and I think this is the sweet spot. Going forward, there's no more Golfs. So the Mark 8 is the last Golf named car, as they all go electric. Now, I know the prices on the 8 are now, I think, £60,000, or some of them are £10,000 over list. So I think this is a little sweet spot. Now, no more manual cars as well. This is a DSG, but if I was in the market to get one, I'd probably go for maybe a 3-door manual in a 7.5 would be the best for future values, I think. But the DSG is really nice to drive. Right, let's stop there and let's just go round the car. I'll show you all the details on it and what I think. Right, so let's have a look at the front of the car, because I really think this is a good looking car. I think it's the best looking Golf R. The original one I do really like too though, but I think this looks really good. I love these lights, I love the detailing in here. They're tremendous at night as well. These ones are adaptive with corners. I like the front bumper, not too overcomplicated. Wheels, I really like the design. The only thing I have found is a little bit crashy on 19s, but you've got to have 19s, haven't you? I don't know. And these are on the best tyre, so I'm not sure you can get it much better on the ride, because this is a Michelin 4S. I love these. Now, anyone remember the Audi S3 back in 2000, 2001? If you ordered one, you always wanted aluminium mirrors on there. I like the little Golf R here, the little badge there. I think that's really nice. Coming to the middle of the car, obviously this is a 5-door, much more practical, but it's still a very good looking car. Sunroof, and then coming to the back of the car, you've got these really nice lights. They look really racy. It looks like an actual R on there. The little R badge, nice little diffuser, double exhaust. I really like the spoiler on the top. So I think as a package, I can't see anything wrong with this car, or anything I don't like, or anything I think I could massively improve. Maybe the wheels could come out a little bit more at the arches, maybe a little spacer, but otherwise I think it's a really good looking car. Right, let's head over to the Evo and have a talk about that. So we had a poll on Instagram for the Golf R to challenge the Mitsubishi Evo Tommy Mäkinen RS, the 22B, or the Skyline GTR we have. And it seemed very close at one stage with the Mitsubishi and the Skyline. The Subaru was way down. I don't know why. I was hoping it would be the Subaru, because the Golf sounds a bit like a Subaru, or there's some fake sound in there, but it sounds a bit like a Subaru. Reminds me of a Subaru, but they chose the Evo, which is fine. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put it against both. I'm going to go out in both cars, the 22B and the Evo, and see where the Golf R sits, because for me, driving it, it might be a bit unfair against the Evo. I think it's more the Subaru against this. So I'm going to do both. So I think it's going to be quite a good video. So we do 3 videos, or 3 drives and videos of me in all of them, and then choose a winner. But this Mitsubishi is very rare, and I see, you know, quite a few messages saying, is it a Tommy Mackinnon? Which, no, it's a Tommy Mackinnon RS. Very different car to the standard car. I had the standard car, actually didn't do a lot for me, and I actually sold that car. But this in the RS form is another level. The steering, it's very lightweight. I think it's 100 kilos lighter than a normal Tommy Mackinnon, but still retains the nice Tommy Mackinnon interior. I think there's only 220 made. Maybe there's only 100 left. So it does feel very raw. It has got a lovely exhaust, a bit of a trick exhaust, Olin suspension. So it's at the top of its game. This is like prime Mitsubishi at its best. Subaru. Now, everyone knows I love Subarus. First Subaru was a McRae, RB5, P1, all the way through. The Golf R really reminds me of something like a P1. I think because of the power, it feels like a P1 delivery. The P1 was about 280 horsepower. This is about 300. But 22B. Now, if you don't know too much about the 22B, it's very, very rare Subaru. There was only 399 made, plus about another 16 for Australia, some for the UK. McRae, Grist and David Lapworth also had 3 of them. So you're probably looking, I think, 420 as a max. Today, there's obviously less than that because they would have been crashed or, you know, unloved a bit back then. I think, I mean, I remember selling these for like £23,000 when I had one back in, would have been 2003. But now these have rocketed up, and a car like this, very low mileage, value is very high. I wouldn't actually know exactly where it is, but you're north of 300, maybe 400, I don't know. And I don't actually know where it's going to stop. Being a 5,000 mile car, very, very desirable. But the 22B had to be hand painted because it wouldn't go through the factory line. WRC body kit. Now the body kit's actually wider than a WRC car. The spoilers are bigger. It looks unbelievable. The strange thing that I've had though, a lot of people just think it's another Subaru, but when you really get into it and you look at it and you know Subarus, you know this is very special. Interesting value-wise, because we spoke about that earlier, you're looking at, say, 25, 26,000 for this Golf R. You're looking at north of 300. The Mitsubishi, you're looking probably 85, 90,000 for these. So this Golf represents a huge amount of value, but can it be as raw as these? And these are so desirable, especially the 22B, it's coveted. They didn't get the car in America, which means there's a huge rush for these in the next sort of 2 years for people to have them. But I'm really excited to go out in them. What I thought we'd do before we go is just give you a run through the interior on the Golf as well, because I think it's quite important we go through that, talk a little bit about the miles per gallon, the different modes that are in there, and then you've got a really good idea of that Golf. So let's move into there. Right, let's jump in the Golf and have a look. Now, every time I get in, this has got keyless go. I keep trying to put the key in, but it's keyless go, so I can just put that there for now. I love the interior on Golfs. I think they're simple, they work very well. The touchscreen, it's a little thing, but it's a nice distance. Some can be like a bit of a reach to get over. I love the different dials and dashes in here, and they can glow on the different modes. Let's just turn it on here so we can see. Oh, let's turn the engine off. Can we do that and still see? I think so. So you've got Apple CarPlay, MirrorLink, Android Auto. Different functions on the steering wheel. Now this is quite interesting actually. It's be interesting when I drive the car. People have been saying I'm holding the steering wheel wrong, and I think they're wrong. And I'll tell you why. These paddles are too short, and you can only just see them here. If I had this car, I'd have longer paddles, and I'd grip it like this, up in here. I don't like gripping when you can't grip. So I know, you know, quite a few people have unsubscribed because of my driving style, but I like to grip the wheel, and I like to be here. And of course the paddles are then a bit low. I don't know how you can grip if you can't grip round something, you're stuck there. So for me, I'm still driving here, I feel really comfortable, but I'd have a longer paddle there. I think that'd be really nice. I've started to look at them, but I'll put them on the next video when we go for a drive. In here, really nice, easy to use. Obviously volume up and down, answering calls, going through the music. I think it's really good. Simple in here, gear levers, easy start, engine, stop. This was the mode that I couldn't quite see, because when you put this into drive, you can't see the mode, and it should really be here. But that makes all the difference when you're driving. But otherwise, it's typical Golf. I do like the sunroof, if I'm honest. I think it's a really nice option. The seats, a lot of the time, I always want leather seats, but actually in here, it's a lovely material. I'm not sure what it is, but it seems like it's really going to last, really hard wearing. Cup holders here, again, very good position, very easy. I know that sounds like a silly thing, but the amount of times you get a car and the coffee holder's in a funny place, or I think on the Porsche GT3, you can't sort of have the coffee exactly where you want it, on, especially on the manual one. I don't know how you do. So there's lots of really nice touches, and obviously VW just get everything right with the Golf, don't they? So there's nothing to really say that's good or bad, and actually quite a big glove box. But once you've got Apple CarPlay now, these nice digital screens, where do you go? I think it's a really nice place to be. It's quite a highly spec car, this one, with the lights, the wheels. I think this is lapis blue. But no, I think it's really nice, really comfortable. Quite a lot of room in the back as well, and a good sized boot. But I think these are a really good car. And I said in the last video, I went straight onto Auto Trader to have a look at one, because I thought these look at massive value, and you can just sort of bomb around in them, do what you want. Nice small car, easy to park in town as well. What can really, be better than this? I'm not sure there is. The other thing I am finding, this is with the Yaris and that, the seats feel a lot lower down. I feel like I'm really in the car. The Yaris, I was very on top of the car. This feels like I'm really low, really in the car. Feels really nice. Manual seats, which is fine, nice adjustment, but I feel in really good driving position here. Couldn't be any better. So I hope you enjoy that video. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 5,000 subs. We're not far away. The garage is great, actually, because we can bring you all this content, more videos on cars, more specs, more numbers on them. But no, I'm looking forward to just getting out and drive now, and that'll be the next video. How is it going to get on against those two? See you again soon.